name? Like maybe a synthwave guy? Anyway. Very long beard, which is neatly combed, and medium length sideburns, neatly combed. As I said, only has one friend, is a member of the Faith of Ashes of the deity of death. Let's go into tasks. Unforbid all these. I'm out of yarn. We'll leave these ones forbidden a little bit so we can catch back up on yarn. No. No, you have not. Why? Zavi? Speaking of artifact, that turban is probably on that pedestal now. I'm just going to place some more of these. Pew, 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 pew. It's 140 power right now. The stream was realized. That just means you've made a masterwork. It doesn't mean you've made an artifact. Nope, it is ready to be placed though. Like if a dwarf makes a singular masterwork, that realizes that dream. Your generating just founded something called Big Style. Ah. It's the Dwarf Fortress. If it's a form of dance, that's incredible. But it's probably like, it's probably a town or city name, probably. I have a dwarf that I read earlier today, Clairvore, who likes to eat flies. Yes, they can absolutely. I once had a dwarf that preferred to consume fairies. Which they only do under extreme duress, which is funny. The ones that truly concern me are the dwarves that prefer to consume slugs. Mr. Crocker, I have no idea, mate. What is my opinion on adventure mode? What do you mean? What is my opinion on adventure mode? I play it, I like it, it's good. It's part of Dwarf Fortress. It's a necessary part to do certain things within Dwarf Fortress. It's not as long of a play session mode for me. I can play much longer sessions of Fortress mode than adventure mode, but I think they're both interesting modes in their own way. It's a different way to explore the same game. Yeah, that's about it. Catastrophe. I mean, it has its issues, so does Fort mode. I stream more Fort mode because people watch more Fort mode. I don't really know what to say. I'll say that. Delicious fairies, yes. I like those wings crisp. Although I like to think that in Dwarf Fortress, fairies are like kind of Krugsmash's imagination of fairies, where they're like these like bloated, gross, large insect things that kind of sparkle. Obo, how are you doing? It's good to see you, mate. How's stuff and things in life and whatnot? You know, Brian in YouTube chat, I've never seen the film Sausage Party. I think I'm good. I've heard enough of that movie and saw enough of the trailer that I was like, I never need to see this. I'm good. Nothing about this movie seems appealing. Good stuff, Hobo. I'm glad we got these things cleared up. That's what happens when you know somebody for too long. How's the thing? I don't know, stuff and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. Dwarf Fortress kind of subverts a lot of, like, fantasy expectations. So I like to think that Dwarf Fortress kind of forgoes some of those stereotypical designs. At least in my imagination. I mean, it's a Seth Rogen movie, isn't it, Brian? Pretty sure that's like a Seth Rogen written movie. I like Seth Rogen generally, but... Although the best thing that Seth Rogen ever did was he saved the Vancouver Aquarium by donating a shit ton of money to the Vancouver Aquarium, and also petitioned heavily on social media to name the octopus Seth Rogen. So they have an octopus named Seth, C-E-P-H. So thanks, Seth. Appreciate your work there, mate. It was fairly inspiring to the orgy at the end. Yeah, like I said, I've heard enough about that movie that I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I have no idea. Drunken Dance, Matt Baby. Matt Babby? Matt Babby. Is this thing still on the surface? Shit. It is. Wow. Has it got any more of them? Nope. So this Forgotten Beast is just wandering the surface and ignoring the zombies. Lovely. Well then. That seems not ideal. I feel like you should pay your animators. The soapy bunny, like in your world? Okay then. Humans being weird, I guess. I like it when names in Dwarf Fortress are just ridiculous innuendos. Which happen quite a bit too. No. Intelligent undead do not heal. They mostly just melt. Yeah, I used to stream it with the old graphics. I mean, I've been streaming Dwarf Fortress actively since late 2017, early 2018. Although initially it was like a once a month thing, then it was a once a week thing, and then it was a twice a week thing, and then I said fuck it, and it was an all of the time thing. But I played it before that. Started playing it initially in 09. But that was a very long time ago. Okay, so all the way down to the bottom. Let's just see. How far do we have this covered? Because I can start walling it off. Goes all the way down to here. This one's not going to get walled off, but we go all the way up and down here. Yes, so this whole level can get walled. Walled in. "42 blocks you're going to take up." Let's use rock salt. Got your DF guidebook? Hell yeah. One of the creators of the DF guidebook hangs out in this chat sometimes. I think this one I can do all the way up and down now too. Let's place a singular floor tile here and put dolomite right there. A dolomite door right there, rather. Same with right here. But yeah, I think they did a very good job on that little book. It's just very nice looking. So you love to see it. You all the way up slowly. Only got another 30 some odd levels of this to go. And then I just need to power the fucking thing. There's nobody making corkscrews. 2 dwarves are. I have no idea because I do not mod Dwarf Fortress. You'd have to ask somebody who mods Dwarf Fortress. Mist generator or passive light aquifer doesn't cause any frame rate issues. The reason a mist generator causes frame rate issues on lower PCs is the rapid speed of the water moving. Because it's moving faster than the frame rate can keep up with. Whereas, like, you know, within Fortress mode, a dripping aquifer doesn't do that. But yeah, a mist generator by an order of magnitude. 575 powers required. There we go. Now things are accelerating. That's what I want to see. I really hope I didn't just screw that up. Because I feel like I'm seeing, yeah, I did screw one of these up. Possibly. Well, I'll just hope I didn't. Otherwise, this whole thing will break. So down to 8 FPS, so you weren't sure, sure enough it was a soldier stuck trying to leave. Yep. Yeah, no, soldiers getting stuck in trees while trying to leave specifically will damage your frame rate still. Whereas, like, back in the day, a soldier getting stuck in a tree would just wreck your frame rate. Or, like, any dwarf being stuck in a tree would just wreck your frame rate. So, it's better than it used to be, but... Because now a dwarf can get stuck in a tree, and now you just find a dead dwarf in the tree. Instead of, like, just a dwarf ending up in a tree and stuck, and then you have no frame rate until they get unstuck. Personally, I think finding a dead dwarf in a tree is just kind of funny. It doesn't really, like, you know, ruin the game in any meaningful way. It's kind of memorable when it happens, but the frame rate going down to null. There was one point where I had my frame rate suddenly vanish, and I was like, okay, what the fuck's happening? I saw a bunch of canceling jobs, and I had a miner that was just, you know, doing dwarf things, digging as they do. And a tree decided to go from being a sapling to being a full-size tree behind them in the area that they were digging out. And it blocked them in. That wrecked my frame rate. Like, what are the fucking odds of that? Like, it was just madness to witness that. I was like, wow, really? You for real? The heck? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power. Because I need access to this. But I also want to block access to this. Could just do a drawbridge and connect it. Yeah, we'll just do it. No, actually, I can't do a drawbridge. Could do it. No. Okay, we'll just do it this way then. I don't want to use closest material. Why are dwarves in trees common? How does one get a dwarf out? How do they get up? Giant birds? So many questions. There's several ways they can end up in a tree. They can get scared up a tree, which is probably the most common one, which could be caused by giant birds, as you cited. The second cause is they could climb up a tree using a gather zone, because like you can make a gather zone, one of these, and then any fruit trees in the area, they'll climb the tree. If you have this option enabled, and gather fruit from the tree when they're ripe. It's actually a very useful tool, especially if you're close-ish to the surface and there isn't a lot of threats on the surface. They'll also pick up random vegetables and stuff that grow on the ground. They'll also automatically collect stuff that falls out of trees. However, if you don't have enough, step ladders, then a dwarf will walk up and place a step ladder and then climb up into the tree, start picking fruit, and then dwarf number 2 will be like, well, I also need to go pick fruits from trees because there's now 80 jobs that have been tasked to go gather fruit from trees, and they go grab that step ladder and move it somewhere else, and then they climb it, and then the first dwarf goes, what are you doing, step ladder? And then they die in the tree. How do you get them down? You cut the tree down. Or hope they're standing on a leaf when fall hits. Or build stairs up into the trees, as YouTube chat suggests. Yes, that's also a perfectly valid option, actually. If anything, that's probably the smarter one, is just, you know, build some stairs into the trees. And then just don't worry about it. Oof. I'm currently painfully low on logs. So there actually isn't many growing in here, which makes me wonder. How hard would it be? I never knew my real ladder. Sorry, that's just too funny of a sentence to read. All right, let's just go down. Okay. I'm kinda, maybe against my better judgment, more trusting of this cavern layer than the other one. Sometimes it will result in a woodcutter punching the dwarf that falls down if they hit them. I had a dwarf die because I had a horse stuck in a tree and I chopped down the tree and the horse landed on the dwarf and squished the dwarf. So, you know, very realistic video game this. Also, thanks for the follows, by the way. I do see them, I just don't have a notification, so appreciate those follows. You don't know if he was the producer, but he was the main star. I seem to recall, I know that we're like looping back around probably to a conversation from ages ago. I seem to recall like an interview with Seth Rogen where he said that he wrote the script for Sausage Party, but anyway. Like I said, that's very much lapping back around to an old subject from earlier. You love building stairs into fruit trees? Building stairs into fruit trees is a very interesting visual. Like a super interesting visual. Well, now you do. You just learned a new skill. I don't know what you're going to do with this information, but hopefully it's something good. So while they work on that, I'm gonna queue up this. Oh, shit. Some stuff get busted up here. A job getting canceled will do that. Wait, what? Okay, for a second there, I thought I had two that were pointing in the same direction, and I was very concerned. It's not a selective tree climbing skill. It's trees grow in, like, it becomes a lot more starkly obvious while you're playing adventure mode. Certain parts of trees are climbable, and because of ways trees grow, it is possible to have an unclimbable tree, or a tree that requires jumping, and dwarves don't generally jump within their pathing. You can do it in adventure mode, but dwarves often won't do that. It's like a last resort thing. Similarly to like how cats have a selective climbing skill, right? Cats can climb lots of things and then bitch, moan, and complain about not being able to get out of them until owner or their servant comes and frees them. Or you call the fire department, as they do in the cartoons. But in Dwarf Fortress's case, I think that dwarves are just similar to cats in that, like, climbing down's scarier than climbing up, and climbing up sometimes easier than climbing down, so they just would rather stand up there and bitch until you come let them down. And sometimes they bitch by just sitting there silently and waiting for you to notice, and sometimes they bitch by making your frame rate go 0. And I don't know if I can really blame them for that. We're almost there. The random stone stairs left when a wildfire and from a dragon attack burns the entire map. Well, the trees will still be there. It kind of bothers me that tree trunks don't burn. But, you know. I've always kind of wanted it so that if the surface burns and you chop down trees, you just get pre-made charcoal. But we don't live in that world. That would be cool, though. I would be super duper down for that. My God. I'm just going to show this off again. This shit makes me so happy. Just seeing this number above 100,000. I haven't seen this since like April of last year. And even that, it only lasted for like a day. It's very rare. I have this many views coming into my YouTube channel. Very rare. Have I heard of the stairs in the forest conspiracy? For some reason, I think I have, but not off the top of my head, no. I feel like I have heard of the stairs in the forest conspiracy. Although I feel like that's probably more of a creepy... If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's more of a creepy pasta than a conspiracy per se, but... Just need more silly dwarf game stories and 50 hours of free time to edit them, you know? Uh-oh. Shit. No. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to do a real quick save. My game's frame rate just, like, vanished for a second there. I thought it was crashing, so I'm just going to quick save because I don't trust game do bad, you know? Zemo here. Hello. How is Dwarf's? Dwarf's is... Chad, how is Dwarf's stream been for you today? You enjoying Dwarf's stream? Yeah, and I'm convinced that dwarves have a lot... Dwarves were programmed... Dwarf Fortress was programmed by cat people. $330 bits for a dwarf? Are you offering me 330 bits for a dwarf? Is this like the where's the Pawn Stars meme when I need it? It's like, best I can do with $3.30. You know, it's kind of funny. For a hot minute there, I charged for dwarves and would just let people redeem dwarves if they wanted to. But I stopped doing that because it turns out people who can't afford it don't like that very much. Oh, you confuse bits with channel points. I get. I get. Don't worry, the Twitch's branding is dumb. Like that very brief minute where like the most popular line to say on Twitch was, I gave you my biddies, now show me your tit. That was a minute of history. I don't know if it's mind-boggling. It's more just I didn't have the patience to wait through it. people are going to complain when you charge for something, and I didn't have a lot of patience that day. Oops, shit. Discovered an unusual volcanic wall studded with gems. Where am I digging? Right. Huh? Hold on. Okay, but like... I got a notification saying I discovered an unusual volcanic wall covered with gems. But it's just giving me this, which is clearly just a Kinder Surprise egg. Not an unusual wall studded with gems. So I'm just very confused as to how that happened. Anyway, there's logs down here and I need logs, so. I'm gonna hack these down because I need them. I got a notification that's normally used to notify you of something very specific, and from what I can tell just at a cursory glance, that specific thing didn't happen. So, just an odd notification is what happened. Hello, Renbird, how is you? I mean, I would say that's a very usual wall studded with gems. There isn't much unusual about that. Just trying to keep the dwarves from running up and over this. Oh no! Get down, dwarf. Okay. Oopsies. Nope, not that tool. It could be, but that would be a mighty weird place for it to be. So that would just be a really weird location for the start of a tube like that. I mean, it's possible, but that would be kind of nuts if that's the case. Because the lava sea is on layer like 80? Minus 80, so that would be like 20-something layers of a lava tube. Which is crazy if that's the case. Okay, let's jump up to here and... Ooh. Break it and find out? Yeah, I mean, I know where it is, so. We're in an ad break, so I will pause the game until the ads are done. Only way to find out would be to dig. Yeah, but I got more important things to finish, such as this lava tube, so I'm not going to get too distracted until I've got lava pumping, and then we'll worry about extracurricular activities. Actually, I can just pause game. Go up to here and set up this. Just trying to get the rest of these dwarves bedroomed so that they stop complaining about the lack of bedrooms. We should be good on bedrooms now, pretty much. Hallelujah. Truly getting there. Isn't it the mage subject? Yeah, but I'm currently in the middle of a project that requires a lot of digging, so I don't really want to start a new project that requires a different type of digging that may also send bad things that want to kill me into my face. Does that make sense? So one digging project at a time. One digging project at a time. Also, I'm purely going off of memory that Dolomite is lava safe, so I hope I'm right. I'm going to be using water to power the pumps, which is why I went and got access to that lower cave layer so that I have more wood that I can easily chop down. Oops, chip. It's about layer 60. Is that really a line from Futurama? I'll have to agree with you. It's your favorite stone in the whole game. There you go. But you know, you have my attention. Person in YouTube chat talking about railguns. These are the railguns. If you go look at my most recent YouTube short, you'll see me firing it. A section of cavern has collapsed. That's slightly concerning. Devilish potato is fighting. Uh-huh. It's very lucky you didn't get knocked into the water. Even though it has to melt in the steel making process. Yeah, don't worry about it. Marble and obsidian. Giant chessboard. I don't mind obsidian used as accents, but as the primary color, bleh. It's too dark. It just looks like a missing asset to me. I feel like the stone lines for floor tiles of obsidian need a little bit more pop. Bender is 40% Dolomite. So I've seen most of Futurama, if not all of it, but I watched that show whilst I was still working night shift with my ex, which meant I slept through 90% of it. Maybe not 90% of it. I dozed through most of it. I don't remember a lot of that show, even though I've allegedly seen all of it. Nope, not ringing a bell. I would need to literally sit down and watch the episode to tell you if I remember it. Correct. Clockwork Dragon. Happy to help. Yandere? I mean, streaming got me through the 2020s, so, you know. I love all of the people getting, like, a little bit irritated with my, like, shade thrown at the Gremlins movies and calling them direct-to-video. I keep getting comments. It's like, how dare you offend the sanctity of the Gremlins franchise? And I'm like... When you account for the later episodes? Yeah, I don't know. I've seen that show once, and this was 8-9 years ago, maybe. So, it's been a while. The siege left! Now there's just a forgotten beast on the surface. Well, there's this guy who's stuck. And then there's... Oops, nope, that's my bear. And there's this guy. And you has webs. But you are just a blob composed of grime and filth. You weren't aware there was a siege? There's been a siege for literally the last year. So I'm going to tell the dwarves to stand their ground, like the good dwarves that they are. And let this beast in the front door. Is what I'm going to do. And we'll see who arrives first, my trading caravan or that beast. Are you about to enter war? Not super likely, no. Stormwolf, do you have no usage of your hands or something? No, you do. In fact, have no usage of your hands. So you are getting booted out. Actually, no, you're not. You're just gonna go get locked in here. Because I need this dwarf to be able to eat a magic potion. Which is right there, which I'm going to unforbid. And then forbid this, and then forbid this, and then cancel this. So you're now standing here. You're a soldier with no activity, and when you get hungry, you will eat this, and then that will allow you to grab again. Now we wait. Hey, chat, remind me to check on that dwarf in about 60 seconds, yeah? If I don't. It's very slowly towards us. And she doesn't like it. Well, there you go, Citizen Cake. Which means you do spend your freebie time teaching your children to play Dwarf Fortress, correct? You gotta start them young. Otherwise, how else are we gonna have a new generation of Dwarf Fortress players to keep the development of this game going for the next 150 years? Big Bang, what up? It's good to see you. This is the second time I've had to do this today, so I'm sorry, Cursed, but Putnam is a she. But Putnam and Putnam's proteges, sure. One is 4 and the other isn't actually born until next week. Oh my god. Well, congrats. Putnam is younger than Toady. Yes, this is true. But, well, I mean, Putnam was a Homestuck fan, so obviously Putnam is younger than Toady. Come on, dwarfs. We only need to land like one perfect bolt to kill this thing. That or I could just fire the railgun at it. Oh shit, and we have another artifact. B-Lug is moving into a Fey mood. I kind of credit myself. I credit video games for helping me learn to read, so. Okay, so a caravan has arrived. You can tell the map is too big when they appear in the middle of the map. Deduk Dykeled. What a name. What a name. Let's hope the beast keeps going in the correct direction. No. Wait. No. Okay, it is still going in the correct direction. We're good. Come on, beastie. Where are you going, beastie? Oh. Dwarves, excuse... 'Tis very unwise the place that you are currently stand. I thought I enabled the burrow. Oh, because I did enable a burrow, I just enabled the wrong one. Dwarf, you better run. Fortunately, this thing moves about as quickly as, like, molasses on sandpaper, so we're good. You're certainly not alone there, and the video games taught you another language, Larry. No! Rip Edsel. No, don't you turn around. No! Come on, keep going down. Tisk. We only need to land like a singular bolt on this thing. I do not want to miss trading, so. Also. You're thirsty. We just need, well. Do I have a drinkable potion? This one looks drinkable. Okay, well. Actually, you know what? I'll just remove you from this squad temporarily. Totally Not Creed. Thank you very much, Totally Not Creed, for totally not resubbing on your second account for another month. Appreciate you. I do still have that strange mood. I need to check in on that. And then also, Storm. There you are. Do I not have juice? There's also jam. Pick one. Oh, what? I guess they killed it? Because I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's dead. Did you get it, Dobar? Random dwarf not from my faction killed it. You know, this is one of those rare instances where the caravan guards actually succeeded in their job. But also we lost some dwarves, so... Diplomat can complete a meeting and left unhappy? Excuse me? Fuck no, I will never... You will not see me use Ballista until they rework Ballista. The absurd thing about people... about Ballista is that people still seem to think that I'm willing to use them. I've been saying this as long as I've been streaming this game. I'm not going to use Ballista until they can aim up. Are they broken? That's all I have to say to that statement. They work exactly as they're designed. They're designed for a two-dimensional game on a flat plane. not a 3D game. They're also manned by civilians, which means they need a 30-tile radius in order for civilians to not be spooked. I don't like them. I don't like the way they work. They're just annoying as shit to use. And no, I will not use them. Do not ask. What do you need? You need stone boulders, rough gems. Okay, it's always rough gems. Cut gems. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of those. But no, I will not use items that require civilians to operate. They've been scheduled for a rework as long as I can remember at this point. I also don't need them because I've got perfectly good minecart cannons that are probably just about as effective. I also think that in some weird ways, minecart engineering is a lot more dwarfy. Holy shit. Are you for real? I can't... Okay. Just gonna sell a shit ton of rock pots. Almost never sell food, but... Beardless anything. Happiest beardless dwarf, you get it. That isn't a child. Also, morning, Arthur. How you doing? Arthur, Golden Orb, I like your last name, is very rarely moved by curiosity, is not the type to fall in love or even develop positive feelings. She is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from herself, and she likes a little excitement now and then. She tries to keep her things orderly, and she likes to take it easy. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and she is conflicted by this as she values artwork and creation. She often feels envious of others, and this is distracting. She often feels envious of others and tends to avoid any physical confrontation. She works to square this natural tendency with her respective martial prowess, and she tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. She is very humble, and she is not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments, and she tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions, and when greeting others, she always smiles nervously. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Dreams of creating a great work of art, and this dream was realized. And she personally would have the world operate in complete harmony without the least bit of strife or disorder. Deeply respects eloquent speakers and views loyalty unfavorably. Finds introspection to be a waste of effort and values tradition. And dreams of creating a great work of art, and this dream was realized. She likes Periclase, as well as rose gold and purple spinel and fungi wood and the color light brown. Picks and backpacks and cabinets and alpacas for their resemblance to a miniature llama, and the words of the fortuitous pregnancy, and when possible prefers to consume horse, guppy, and rice beer, and can't stand toads. And worships the god of death and has no friends, and is a member of the Order of the Dust. And I'm going to stand up real quick and stretch, because my shoulder hurts. 2 seconds. All right, that's a little better. Great work of art. Art is subjective. It's probably easier than you think. Dark Sand was... The woodcutter has been missing for a week. Must have been squished by that beast. Sure we'll find it. Belug's still at it. So the real question is, where am these traders at? They didn't leave, did they? Oh, phew. No, they didn't. They're just taking their sweet time. You made pretzels. Ooh. Soft pretzels? I made pretzels once, and it was very much worth the effort. I'll say that. Oh, my clue, my broker went to go get a drink. There's a bakery here that makes some pretty banging pretzels. So if I wanted pretzels, I'd probably just go buy them because support your local business. And that kind of making like bread and that kind of thing is a bit beyond me, or beyond something that I personally am willing to do, I guess, is maybe the better way of putting it. It's not that it's beyond me. I could do it. It's just, I don't know. I'm willing to put it. You know? I think you know. But they are delicious. You made pretzels once, very much so messed up. You messed them up. I'm gathering. Oh, by the way, some of you might find this amusing, chat. Guess how many subscribers I got yesterday on YouTube? Forgotten Beast, Spuss has come. A great scaly slug. It has thin wings of stretched skin. And it squirms and fidgets. Its crimson scales are blocky and set far apart. Beware its noxious secretions. That's a good Forgotten Beast. Oh shit, one actually appeared here? Damn. Salty Tempest nailed it. And so did LT Spin. I got exactly 420 new YouTube subs yesterday, which is a lot. I don't normally get anywhere close to that. But it's just, you know, amusing that we actually landed on that number. Oh shit, I should check in on Stormwolf. Have you healed yourself yet? You're thirsty and drowsy. Come on. Let's just leave game paused for a sec. Pretty sure that's a food. The edible jams. The funny jam stuff. Tisk. Well, I'm sure you'll have an opportunity again at some point, Renbird, when it's time to celebrate. It's now just a rare treat, as it should be. Very cool to be able to properly make bread. You know, the main thing that's stopping me from making bread at home, YouTube chat, is I don't need another hobby. And other people do it better than me. So it's like, I'm now I know I'm very fortunate to live somewhere where there's bakeries everywhere. And I kind of just accept that I would genuinely just rather go to a little local bakery and just pay somebody for bread that's better than the bread I could probably make. I'm just going to grab these. Do you not have uncut gems? Oh, come on. Pudding stone bookcase. I will buy that. Same with this. Excess weight. I'm trying to buy way too much weight or sell them way too much weight. So the items I'm giving them is too heavy. So I will buy the things from them that I know are heavy. You telling me you didn't bring any clay? Okay, fine. What do you have for cages? Sure, I'll buy your friggin' alpaca. Twist me arm, why don't you? Also buy these bags. And the anvils. There we go. Now we're above their minimum weight. Also buy their cheese. And then go, well, they didn't have any gems, so Beastie on its way up. Oh. I thought for a second I thought I saw a dwarf up there, but I didn't. It was just a spider. Come on, Beastie. Before the game just explodes, that highly depends on the fortress, the size of the map, and your computer. I've had hundreds of dwarves, and it's fine. And also, I guess explodes is relative. Do you mean like hit 0? You could have 2 dwarves and your frame rate goes to 0 because you did something very specific. Or odd circumstances are the more common cause of bad frames. So if the question is what makes frame rate bad, player error generally. And the other answer is a lot more than you used to be able to. Like what Midnight said, yeah. There's very few like hard numbers. It's a lot of it depends when it comes to Dwarf Fort. Uh-oh, this ain't good. Bruggen, you may want to back away a little bit because you kind of got caught out here. Let's hope that you've got some backup up and coming. We're also in an ad break, so I'm not going to unpause the ad until I'm not going to unpause the game until the ad is done. Have you ever played City Builders, Eric Waffles? Or have you ever played like a RimWorld or a Colony Builder, like a small scale city builder? Because that's basically what this game is. At least in the fort mode. Well, I mean, population cap and visitors have their own population caps. I think by default it's 80 visitors. Hello, Livis Mangus. And like this particular fort's frame rate's a little low because of the size of the map, right? It's 7x7. Okay, so Bruggen is dueling with the creature. The creature is now bleeding, or has bled. That's its bleeding. He's got quite a few silver bolts, which he seems to be firing pretty quickly. Yep, and he actually seems to be, you know, he's already bruised its brain. So he's done some pretty good shots. He just fired off another one right there. Come on, duder. Gets another one off. Gets another one off. That one missed. Gets another one off. Come on, man. Just keep dodging. Don't get caught in the webs. It's primarily all you need. It's bleeding pretty heavily now. Man, if this dude solos this Forgotten Beast with a crossbow, I'm going to be impressed. Although he is out of bolts now. So now he's mostly just dodging around and whacking it, but not really doing any damage by whacking it. Tell the entire army to go kill this thing. I don't know where the backup is. Oh, there they are. Got backup incoming. He's stunned, so he's about to get saved probably by Cole here, who was equipped with a steel spear and with a Forgotten Beast lung roast. Would you look at that? Stabs it repeatedly with a spear, which is now tearing its innards. And it seems like the creature is bested. Well done, Bruggen. Well done. Satisfied. See, this is what you want. Doesn't feel anything while in conflict. Satisfied after improving fighting. Now, that's a proper militia dwarf. Good job there, dude. Dude. They're killing my rock, chat. I don't blame them. But man, why? I know they do that, but it's behind a door. Rest in peace, Rock. We'll have to move you somewhere safer. The other one. Unless it manages to get away. This guy ain't gonna... Although he did fall asleep. So maybe he'll use this as an opportunity to escape? Rocky? No! Survive, Dwarf. I'm not gonna go killing the traitors. You wondered if he got in trouble? I didn't see him leave. I'm gonna just do this. See if I can... Let's see if we can get a dwarf to go move it. Although I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He can still breathe. Come on, dwarves. Someone please go grab him and chain him up. There's a lot of hauling jobs happening. We'll see you later, Zavi. Take care, mate. Mega Beasts can heal pretty fast. Do they really? I thought they were like normal livestock where they don't heal. But I don't know, he's still heavily bleeding, dude. I think this thing's dead. Yeah, he's unconscious. But so are they, so... I love how through all of this, they're still trading. Hold on. Let me just... I'm gonna just buy some buckets. Oh, they can't carry it. It's too heavy. Is too heavy. Okay, well, what weight can I get off of you? That's the heaviness. This is very... They don't like heavy weights. Shields, bucklers... Don't need random instrument parts. Accidentally clicked on something, I guess. Oh, let's just unmark all. Okay, let's just do you. Perfect. All right. And then the other thing I'm going to do is this and this, which will force them to stop trading. And then can we chain him up, please? Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're like dwarves, where like if they lose the ability to stand or fly, they never regain that, but I could be mistaken. The funny thing is, like, all these traders are just completely exhausted, so they keep falling asleep. Stormwolf. Okay, so Stormwolf is now healed, and I need to let him out so he can go get a drink. But Stormwolf has consumed magic potion and can thus pick up equipment again. And I will put you back into the military. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. He can't fly either way. Yeah, but okay. You know what I'm saying. Still doesn't change the fact that he's not going to heal permanent injuries. What's the challenge here? Dwarf Fortress doesn't have challenges. It has themes. I settled on a mysterious dungeon. We took it over. Like, I've beaten the mysterious dungeon, but... Or mysterious palace, not dungeon. But, yeah, there really isn't a challenge in Dwarf Fortress. It's just a theme. Thanks, Renbird. I don't care. I want the bird, alive and in one piece and functional. I don't want it as meat and leather. If I wanted it as meat and leather, I would have butchered it a while ago, right? So thank you for your input. I don't care. It's not useful in this situation, friend. Sorry for seeming frustrated, but I want this bird alive, but clearly I'm not going to get it now. Did you know that your beloved pet that you own could probably be cooked into burgers? Did you know that? Did you know that you could pour salt on your expensive houseplant and kill it immediately? Oh, really? Well, now you do. You're going to tell your cat that? I mean, your cat would probably agree, especially if you're referring to a dog. Yeah, I'm well aware that I could butcher this thing, but like the whole purpose of not butchering them was hoping that I'd get breeding pairs, but... I mean, I wouldn't recommend eating a pet rock either, don't worry. Post away, Renbird. I'm just gonna be bummed about this until they finish killing it. That's adorable. That you named your chicken Peanut. Is Peanut a pet or is Peanut a slaughter bird? You know, actually, I wonder if I could war train it. Hold on. Let's see if I can war train it in time. They're dragging it away. Maybe I saved it. They're chasing it. You criminals, how dare you? Can I call this joke mildly upsetting if you're calling your pet emergency rations? Or even incredibly upsetting? All right. I don't anime, so I'm not gonna get a reference to an anime I have not seen. You know, you could say some absolutely hysterical reference to something that I have no context of, and it wouldn't come across as a joke. Etten, Dumo has come. A giant humanoid monster with 2 heads. I mean, I can easily blame anime for anything. Like, that's not something I'm going to complain about. Don't you worry. I'll happily blame anime. I've seen the South Park movie, ironically. Besides, someone should actually make an anime about competitive Excel tournaments, though. Jokes aside. I know that that's probably not what Excel Saga is about, but somebody should do that, because that would be good. We have a pet channel, so you could put them in the pet channel, but you didn't wait long enough to put them in the pet channel, so. For future reference, put them in the pet channel. So, friend here, you do have a son. You're covered in black sand. That's interesting. You are choosing a very odd way into the fort. Where are you going? I don't think that, like, you not knowing that a room on Discord exists makes you a bad listener. I think that more than... Oh, I see. You're breaking the door. I would say more than anything, that makes you a bad reader. I have no idea, Corpse Man. How old is the dwarf? Old enough to not get your head chopped off yet. When you become of age, you'll probably get your head chopped off because of how much chaos you've caused. You are 10 years old. Grumble. Okay, who is you? Let's just open this door. Oopsies. You've got this. Saiga in here is dueling around the Etten and I think winning because that looks like Etten blood. It is in fact Etten blood. Saigon really wants a drink and just killed the Etten quick enough that now you can go get your drink. Excellent. Yeah, Rock is healing slowly. Hang in there, Dwayne. Now, you right here need metal bars. What else have you picked up? Oh, I could probably just do this. Nope. Well, okay, what else do you need then? Cut gems, metal bars. Lots of metal bars. Logs, okay. Stone boulders, okay. Rough gems. Cut gems. Rough gems. Ah, you need more rough gems. Okay. Let's scroll down here and do this. Oh, for fuck. Nobody's making corkscrews. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Well, you guys can follow this strange mood, Dwarf. I will be back in a second. I'm going to stretch again because my shoulder is kind of killing me. Back in a moment. Oh, good. Dorothy McGee here is moving. Let's hope that Belug grabs one of the expensive gems. It looks like you will. Sweet. What are creepy crawlers? They are a vermin-sized creature, so same as spiders or beetles or anything, that I think only appear on evil biomes, right? Or a creepy crawler is a deep creature. They can't hurt the dwarves now. I think they probably consume your food at some speed, but... They're just a layer 3 thing? Okay. I couldn't remember if they were layer 3 specific or evil biome specific, but yeah. They're just a random vermin. They're harmless, yeah. Deconstructing this might fix this. Seems like it is. Whew! Frame rate dropped down to nothing for a sec. B-Lug is grabbing copper bars. Some dwarves can like them. I mean, people like evil creatures, so I wouldn't blame the dwarves for also liking evil creatures. Well, let's just do Bloodthorn. Let's get some red wind water wheels up in here. Ha, that's amazing. And then here, let's do this. Except you. Made a tower cap. Even though I still need to change the direction, this is still dramatically less clicks. Like significantly less clicks. Cats do clean up vermin, yes, but they don't... It's not a perfect science. Personally, I find vermin to be such a small issue in the grand scheme of things that I just kind of ignore them, usually. Like, I just don't... I usually just don't bother even dealing with them. I don't actually... So, y'all must have terrible ergonomics if you get carpal tunnel. But yeah, no, it's less tedious as far as I'm concerned. So I guess what I'm gonna do is just move my trading depot to like, maybe even just right here, like all the way over by the front door. I think that's just what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I feel like the cleanup from cats killing vermin is more annoying than the vermin, personally. You can do that. You just need to set it up correctly, which is usually a bit more, like, convoluted than people are willing to go about doing. Cats are good for leather. I disagree with that. And the reason I disagree that cats are good for leather is if you happen to have one cat dwarf, as in dwarf that likes cats, in your fortress, you will just have 255 trillion named cats and you can't slaughter any of them. B-Lug, the blacksmith, has created Asolotam, a diorite bracelet, and offers it to the head cave of clobbering. I think that's going to be a gift for the broker. Your dwarf had like 50 pet cats. So what's funny is like when a cat's owner dies, this isn't funny, this is really grim, but it's darkly funny, I guess, is if a cat's owner dies, they will hang around the last known location of their previous owner. And I had a dwarf that had like 20 something pet cats once, and then that dwarf got washed into the river. Because one of his cats got caught in a water flow and flew backwards, and then the dwarf collided with his cat, so his cat like knocked him into the river. Dwarf drowned. And those cats hung around the edge of that river forever. They refused to move. The Head Cave of Clobbering is the name of my local government, and the Tower of Clobbering is the faction. Yes. You're now off to go. Oh shit, you actually have a honeybee wax ring? Damn, dude. That means you probably got that from the previous fortress. Yeah, no, this dwarf was in my previous fortress. Shit. Time to drive an hour and a half. Safe trip, dude. So this is a diorite bracelet. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round diorite cabochons and decorated with goblin cap and encircled with bands of table-cut chrysoprase. This object menaces with spikes of moss opal, copper, and silver. On the item is an image of seized noses. Chat, this is called seized noses, like as in your nose. The climactic griffins, the diorite bracelet. That's the name of this thing, is Seized Noses, the Climactic Griffin. Why do I feel like that's a Family Guy joke? Where was I? On the item is an image of Imwish, Circle Sword, the dwarf, in rock salt. On the item is an image of Jasro Urged Anvil, the human, and a cave dragon in Jasper Opal. The cave dragon is striking down Jasro. The artwork relates to the killing of the human, ghoul by a cave dragon in First Maligned, the Righteous Step, in the mid-spring of 215 during Estop Snostrop, or whatever, the Siege of Clouts. On the item is an image of a honey badger man in yellow diamond. Enjoy the lurking and the zooming. Keep their hands hydrated and smooth as it needs to be. All right, let's hopefully finish this bomb stack. Can't yet. Don't have enough green glass tubes. And apparently a doctor was found dead. Corpse Man, did you? Corpse Man roadkilled at one of my doctors, chat. Chat, can I get a round of Fs for the doctor? That dwarf didn't deserve it. Pulo, hey, what's up, Pulo? How thing? It has been a minute. I hope you've been well. In the time that you've been gone. I've been here doing my normal thing, with the exception of the occasional week when I'm not. And you know, then I'm editing, mostly. Grinding, as they say. Punched his nose clean out. He could have bit it off. I mean, we can check. I mean, literally killed him by punching him in the upper body, and the injured part explodes into gore. He punched him in the chest so hard his chest exploded. I don't see anything sailing off. Allegedly. I mean, he's an adequate... This is a child who's an adequate fighter. Like, Jesus, man. Some drag... I thought you were going to say that's some One Punch Man shit right there. But yeah, sure, Dragon Ball works. Oh, man. I'm just gonna... Sorry there, you poor burb. No, it's totally fine. Nothing wrong with a little Dennis the Menace in a fortress. I'm more like Dennis the Mass Murderer, but you know, nothing wrong there. It's part of the game. All right, can I maybe finish? Please finish these. Just making sure these go all the way up. You here can be... finished there and there. This can get a door there for a few reasons. Now I can start working on this. Now, the one thing that would cause me to punt your dwarven child into the magma sea is if that dwarf decided it would be a great idea to break this tower of pumps. Like, if a dwarf did that, I'm sorry, you're getting fired out of the airlock for that. Because I've definitely had that happen before. I've had a dwarf tantrum and break an entire pump stack before. It's like 200 levels of like constructed. What? No, my baby rhinos are starving. No. But I definitely had hundreds of... I've definitely had that happen. Maybe not hundreds of times, but more than once. I've had towers broken because a dwarf decided to tantrum. And yeah, that would make me end a dwarf immediately if, if that were to happen here. But what happened? A child tantrumed and killed a dwarf is what happened. Another one? I think that's the first child who's killed people today. We had another one the other day, though. So yeah, I guess another one. Just unforbid all these and just use Coke to get them done. Been on any good hikes lately? Not since moving, because I moved. Like, basically, I went on a hike in December. Yeah, pretty good one in December. And I went on an overnight camping trip in early January. Up Mount Garibaldi. But since moving, no. Because February hit and I moved in February. Upon finishing moving, I basically hit the ground running, and last week was the first week I didn't stream since moving. I moved it. I streamed on a Wednesday, streamed on a Friday, or took the Friday off to finish packing, moved on the Saturday, set everything up Sunday, was almost done unpacking Monday, and streamed Tuesday. So I basically like haven't really had time to breathe until like this past week. Like I'm only just like cooling off post move, essentially. I'm wondering if it's worth pumping this up an additional layer, because then I could do it this way and use this sucker. Let's do it that way. We're going to pump the lava up one more layer over top of this. It's going to go over to here, and then we'll pump it up to here and over there. So I could then reroute it from here into other things. But first, let's dig through this. Replace that with a wall. And also this too. This game scares you sometimes? Twitch chat scares me sometimes. Gray? Let's see, what else can I do here? All right, so now I need to check. Where is power? Oopsie, it's too far down. To go up to here. Because you're doing what? Yeah, it's funny. This is actually stumping me a little bit. What's the best way to do this? Oh, actually, I know. Let's go on this side. Someone trained in military. Everybody wants to die and complains when their dwarf dies. I don't know. Let's see who's not named. We got Ral, Tulon, Aban, Lykot. We got Aitan. Or Goden. Do you want a dwarf with a beard or a dwarf without a beard, Baragon? That's the question. The important question. Beard or no beard? What do you wanteth? Oh, true. It's just whether or not you die quickly or not. I may throw Farmer Femme into the military. I need a leader for this squad. Beard cap. Good in it be. I mean, actually, you don't get to pick. But, oh, no, you did say beard. Okay. Abraham. Roughness knives. Oh. I guess you're in Scott Pilgrim then. Is inflamed by hatred and easily develops hatred towards things. Ah. Should try out politics. He always acts with mercy and compassion to the forefront of his considerations, never mind, and has great trouble mastering fear when confronted by danger. He tends to not reveal person information, and he doesn't cling tightly to ideas, is open to changing his mind, and doesn't focus on material goods. He's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture, and he can easily fall in love or develop positive feelings. He generally finds himself to be quite hopeful about the future, and he does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. He is conflicted by this, as he values artwork and its creation, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day. He doesn't really care about anything anymore. He dreams of raising a family and personally is a firm believer in the value of tradition, respects the development of a skill, and doesn't think one way or another about leisure time, and doesn't care about friendship. He likes native platinum and silver, as well as red tourmaline and clear glass and ibex hoof, toad tooth gauntlets, crowns, cougar eels for their long bodies, and the words of the Tenrobus wisps, and the sight of the silkiness of festivals. When possible, prefers to consume tomato wine and hates hamsters. Chat, can I get a round of beers for the new dwarf? Welcome. It's good to have you. You are fearful and low willpower. And you have a pet peacock, who I know for a fact is alive because I've seen it. And you're married to Iteb, and you have a kid named Aiden. Welcome to the family in the fortress. So this back here it's going to go all the way up to there. Who's drinking fermented V8? It's just expired V8, actually. I mean, I don't necessarily trust anybody who's drinking normal V8, let alone, like, expired fermented V8, but... you know, here we are. I do recall that there was a movie that had a ridiculously high budget for V8. And I know it was a bad movie about pirates, not Pirates of the Caribbean. What was the name of that movie? It was like a 90s movie. I remember it bombed and it was very expensive, and one of the more notable things that they spent the budget on was V8. And I don't know why I'm remembering this, but it's in my brain for some reason. I mean, yeah, that is a V8, but that's not the V8 we're talking about. V8 is a tomato juice. Cutthroat, I think, I want to, hold on, let me Google this. Because Cutthroat Island sounds right. During the filming of Cutthroat Island, in Malta, director Rennie Harlan and Gina Davis were reportedly fond of V8 vegetable juice, leading to a large quantity being shipped to the set with an entire room eventually being filled with unopened juice. And they weren't able to afford to ship it back, so they forced the staff to drink it. Excuse me? Yeah, they were shipping it to Malta. They spent approximately $60,000 on V8 during the shooting of the movie and shipping costs. I don't know why my brain remembers some things, but it does. That was from a movie trivia site. You can look it up if you want. I don't know the validity of it. I'm just taking it at its face value. I just recall there was something to do with V8 and a pirate movie, and this was filmed in 1995, if that says anything.
Spitalier cheered.
Spitalier? You're no longer Spitalier, you're now Spitalier. Is that the correct pronunciation of your name? Spitalier, thank you very much for keeping that sub alive, and also thanks for keeping the support alive by, throwing some bits at the channel. I appreciate you, man. Question here is, I'm not sure how to add angry German into your name, so I won't try, but noted. Thanks for the $1. Appreciate you, man. So I need to get power from over there to over here is what I need. I don't like tomato. Well, I mean, that movie was, like, so legendarily bad, it, like, destroyed the production house that was funding it, so I feel like the V8 was just insult to injury more than anything. No. They brought trolls. A vile force of darkness has arrived, and they're seeking a parley. Well, parley away. Chat, can I get a couple beers for that $1? Chucked into the chat. Just discovered my channel. Great stuff. Hey, happy to have you. You have a whole playlist of movies, if that's what you found. Holy shit, there's more. But wait, there's more. Well, FG is, like, German, so I would, if anybody's gonna do a good job with it, FG's gonna do it. A lot of beak dogs, yeah. And some ogres. The ogres just make me think of the one line in the Fellowship of the Ring. They have a cave troll. Especially when they're hammer ogres. And they have giant mauls. Nah, that's a pretty small one. If you want to see some big attacks, you should watch my video on the Fortress Gortusk, which is the cult fort. That that has some big sieges, because there is a hard cap of how many enemies can attack per siege, and in that fort I removed it and set it to the absolute maximum, which is 2,000. Simply put, the frame rate would go from, like, I don't know, 70 down to, like, 2 whenever we'd get attacked. So it took a while for enemy armies to actually make it to the fort, but it was very dramatic, and the sieges were very scary and large. Oopsies. Let's go up to here. Oh, there's no access to that, obviously. Yeah, that was, you know, honestly, I really like the Cult Fort video, but I'll be honest, I don't remember making it really. Because that was it was a video where I just, like, seen quite a bit of success with the Godly Tombs video. So I was like, well, this video did well, shit. I gotta quickly get out a follow-up, and that video I just produced as quickly as goddamn possible. It was very much a, well, something succeeded, so time to replicate it. Let's go. So I barely remember that video. Was I high? I do have my, well, there's no such thing as mild in this instance. I do have bipolar disorder, so I didn't sleep much. We'll put it that way. Like, I vaguely remember editing it, but... Like, that's one of the ones that I'm surprised the most by when I go back and rewatch it. Because I'm like, oh, huh, right, yeah. No, I don't remember making that joke, but cool. That's funny. Look at me. I'm creative. Kind of deal. Yeah, I can have memory. I do occasionally have memory lapses. This is true. All right, so you need 900... Holy shit, I may not actually have enough power. Maybe I do. I need like a couple more of these. Get me 17 power. Does troglodytes can climb? Anything can climb a flat wall if they're determined enough. But smooth walls are harder to climb than rough walls, and brick walls are harder to climb than boulder walls. So just make your environment as hard to climb as possible, and you will do better than if you don't do that. Kind of want to block this. But if you want nothing to be able to climb your wall, build an overhang. Overhangs are the only surefire way to make sure nothing can climb it. Okay. And then lastly, I need to do this. Is a floor enough? One tile of floor is enough to count as an overhang, yes. Or dig down one and dig under your wall is another way to do it. That's usually what I do. It's just easier to do it that way. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. This is where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to this. View stockpile and expand. Because this is, yes, for all gems. So essentially, this is just going to be a defendable area that will now have an easier method of cleaning up after the fights. That is the entire intent here, is to just have a defendable area that's now easier to clean up after the fights are over. The problem is my minecarts for the cannons are made of gold, so I will have to get the minecarts out before I dump the lava. Otherwise, the minecarts will melt. But that won't be too difficult. Let's get this done. Give me another... There's literally one sitting right there. Now that I have lava above it to clean the place, probably replace them with steel. That or just trying to figure out some way of making them automatically reload. There's a few ways I could do that. That would... Because, like... Could probably do some shenanigans with that, but... I mean, I've been live for 7.5 hours today. That would probably take me quite a bit more time to finish, so... I could probably jury-rig something together, yeah? We're just not quite there yet. Because currently the priority is just simply get this fortress defended. Efficiently. Against all kinds of foes. And we're not quite there yet. I am a huge fan of Crocs as camping shoes and water shoes. So any kind of boating, because they float. And camping, because they don't weigh anything. House shoes? I don't wear shoes in the house, so I'm not a person to ask. Platinum is magma safe? What? Anyway, we're being attacked by a flying snowball. What? I had no idea platinum was magma safe. If platinum is magma safe, then yeah, we'll use platinum. I got platinum. I need to double check that though. There seems to be a lot of boulders lying around both here and in your videos. Why is that? Because in order to dig, you make boulders. And I don't use them up as quickly as some people do. And it depends on the fort, really. Sometimes I worry more about cleaning them up than others. In this fortress, I haven't really. Especially as of late, because the population's pretty low, so hauling is a lower priority. Yeah, I had no idea. Although I don't generally end up with a lot of platinum in my forts, so... Today I learned. Yeah, the non-slip Crocs to me just sound like fucking witchcraft hobo. That like having worked in kitchens, the concept of a non-slip Croc to me is nuts. The reason non-slip Crocs to me are nuts is because all the kitchens I've ever worked in have like been surrounded with hot oil all the time, and the idea of walking around with shoes on that also have holes in them, unless they don't have holes, is just bananas to me. But I believe it, I guess. Yeah, I only need to make like 3 more videos like the Gremlin one to get 100,000 subs on YouTube. I really hope that this is the year, chat, that I get the stupid silver play button. I really want one of those. All right, let's see if we can kill this flying snowball. Oh. Well, it's very far away from us. The Ashen Echoes. Yeah, the echoes of it dying. No! This is such a slow-moving... Okay, never mind. It doesn't look like it can fly. Well, whatever. You'll get slapped by a troglodyte or something and explode. It's fine. You know what's funny is that sounds like a threat shot. I know that's not the tone of voice you're using, but my brain read that as like you deserve it. It was like, what? What did I do? Oh, thank you, Frankie. Yeah, I presumed you meant on YouTube. Oh, shit. Well, I'm dumb. I mean, I could just do this way. Actually, no, I can't. I'll send you a pic of my croc. Hey, chat, you guys want to see Hobo's croc? It's exactly what it sounds like. These are Hobo's non-stick crocs. Are those like lightning bolts? Okay. I mean, I believe it. I'm glad they don't have holes in them, though. Although, you might need a new pair soon, because the non-slip texture stuff coming off the bottom seems a little dangerous. Your old pair were flames? You should get racing stripes. Unrelated to anything. Apparently, starting March 27th, so next week today, gift sub bundles are getting a 35% discount. That's kind of neat. I'll have to match more subs. Which is actually... I wonder how many bundles you can gift with that discount, because that is like my cut. I'd be effectively paying myself to gift subs. It's probably a limited number. Later, Poland. Yeah, you gotta get the high speed Crocs, you know? The long distance sprinting Crocs. The red ones. Okay, you go to here. I'll just go with whatever's closest. And you go to here. And then you go there. You go there. You go there. And you go there. No, wait. You up here. You go there. You go there. And then we just need to connect power here. I mean, like I said, I like Crocs for any kind of water activities purely because of the fact that they float. And having done stuff in kayaks throughout my life and canoes and various other types of boats of that sort, trust me, it's real nice to be able to just like accidentally fall in and know that you can get your shoes back. So also, as somebody who used to do flat water kayaking, they acted as extra flotation because those kayaks have basically no flotation in them and are worth tens of thousands of dollars in some cases when you're talking about like the fancy racing boats. And when I was younger, I raced like these super expensive carbon fiber kayaks. So, you know, you wanted to do anything you could to make sure they'd float. It was to the point where like, if somebody fell in and they weren't like visibly in distress, the maximum priority was save the boat, fuck the person in the water. Because like, oh, you've got a life jacket on or you can swim, so it's fine. But like, get the boat out. So yeah, that's why I like Crocs. Unless it was like, you know, freezing weather or something, or super rough water for whatever reason. Unless there was like actual danger. Yeah, no, it was very much a save the boat. So this is just going to start pumping in a second. I need to actually pause this. Because I need an on-off switch set up. You link up to this and get pulled. And then you get linked up to this. Anything you can do about it? Do you have DF hack installed? This. Unfortunately, no. Install DF hack and then load your save up and then type in extinguish all. It's on Steam. So just go to Steam, install DF hack and do that. That's literally the only thing you can do aside from wait. Unfortunately. It's been about 2 hours now. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not a huge proponent of DF hack, but in cases like this, just do that, and then if you don't want to use it, just uninstall it after the fact. Because or aside from extinguish -all, the other thing you could do is do that command, and then also highlight the Forgotten Beast and type in exterminate this. It'll kill the Forgotten Beast instantly, and it will unexist all the fires. Yeah, that'll fix it. Like in circumstances such as these, it's useful. Please, Livus Mungus, do not act like a used car salesman for the piece of software that not everybody wants to use. Please. Not everybody wants to use the piece of software that plays the game for you. If you want to use it, more power to you. Can't sell something it's free? Sure, but you can pester. I would also say that joining many cults is free. Deep Space, how was you? PC had no problem burning the whole forest up top. Yeah, I mean, like, my computer usually has no problem with the entire forest burning up top. Usually, What causes FPS problems with fire is pathing through said fire, not the actual fire. Report's going pretty good. Aside from the slowly dwindling population and the constant zombie invasions and the goblins that are currently on the surface. But, you know, aside from that, things are good. Why do you know it has armor? I'm just waiting for them to build this. Although, oddly enough, I don't actually need to wait for them to build this. It depends on the cult. Sorry for comparing the effect to a cult. I don't know. It's just the first place my brain went, but... Someone killed the beast. You're back. There you go. Oh, did it? Did the extinguish all deal with it? Sometimes also the command clear smoke can clear it. You know, DF hack would bother me a lot less if when you first installed it, it would have every single feature defaulted to off. Like, I just don't like how much stuff it defaults on. Because then people pop into my... The beef I have with it is people popping into my chat asking me why things aren't working, and they tried to use DF hack to make it work when they just don't understand how the mechanic works fundamentally from the beginning. Yeah, it just makes people mislearn things and then go around spewing it as fact, and it drives me bonkers. It resolved itself? Oh, that's even better. There's pestles in this game? You mean like mortar and pestle? Yeah, those have been in the game since 2000 and something. 9, I think. Whenever they added night trolls. Night trolls use them. They're a thing that you find in adventure mode sometimes. I use them as throwing weapons. Or decorations in fort mode. We have a paper maker who's withdrawn from society. Well, that's interesting. What's a huge miss? Why do night trolls have those? I think, don't minotaurs also use them? They use them to grind up bugs to make bug paste, which they consume. I know that that's oddly, like, Dwarf Fortress levels of specific, but... Well, I mean, the thing is, the people who... Okay. The people who use DF hack and the people who make DF hack have been playing Dwarf Fortress exclusively with DF hack to the point where there is a portion of the community that will tell you that it's the only right way to play. And having played both ways, on and off, I can tell you, it almost feels like a different game with everything turned on. It's like playing Minecraft with God mode turned on in a lot of cases because the game automates itself in a lot of ways that it doesn't by default. And I'm not a big fan of that. Some people love it. And I think that it's just kind of like a fundamental disagreement between people who've only played the game that way or people that have played the game that way for like the better part of a decade, if not longer, and then people who haven't. And I think that there's just some mental disconnect there. Because a lot of people started playing with all that stuff enabled initially, right? And it just kind of perpetuates the cycle. I think that, like, as a piece of software, it's extremely useful, which is why I have it installed. But I find that, and I know that a lot of people like these features, like Auto Butcher and stuff like that. It's like, is that useful? Yeah, absolutely it is. But it makes me worse at the game, so I don't like it. But, you know, we all have our weird fiddly likes and dislikes about things. All right, let's get all these dwarves into the fortress. And hope that doesn't kill this dwarf. Oh, you're grabbing stuff. Yeah, no, totally. It's like a console in Skyrim, but the console in Skyrim doesn't auto-complete every quest for you, right? You have to go in there and manually do it, Whereas I would argue in a lot of instances, Dwarf Fortress or DF Hack kind of does that. Also, you're running around with a blowgun, excuse me? Let's go over here and give this a tug. That's closed. That's about to be closed again. But yeah, it is similar to the console in Skyrim, but... All right. You headed out, Rambird? We'll see you later. Let the siege begin. But it is also kind of a miracle, the stuff that software is capable of. Like, it's really cool what it is. No, absolutely people can play the game the way they want. But it's a complicated game that people tend to ask people for help on how to play. Like, if you want to, like, break the game and manipulate it and do everything you want to do, be my guest. My asterisk is, if somebody is brand new to the game and asking you for to help learning how to play it, and the best advice you can give is to go install a piece of software that will play half the game for you and they don't even realize that the game's doing that, I don't think that's a positive for anybody. And that's, I guess, a hill that I'm going to die on. So yeah, no, it's a single player game. 100%. Play it the way you want. Play it the way you enjoy playing it. By all means. There's all sorts of things I would like in this game, but I don't really speculate, nor do I really concern myself with it, because if you play a game like this for a really long time, Nanarus, I really like the game as it is right now. And Tarn is always working on stuff and prototyping stuff, and I'm looking forward to the stuff that he's working on and prototyping. But I don't really concern myself too much with things that I would like to see added, because it's pointless. I'm not working on the game. I'm looking forward to what's on the roadmap right now, which is sieges getting reworked, siege equipment getting reworked, and other such things. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to stuff that's like on the up and coming stuff. But yeah, of course there's stuff I would love to have added to the game. But I think it should be exactly what the people who make the game are interested in. And I think that our silly ideas are not really relevant. Terrifying? I think you misspelled exciting. Uh-oh. Got a dwarf that's been missing for a week, apparently. I wonder if it's a dwarf that got crushed by a drawbridge. It's possible. Oopsies. You're bad at handling sieges. Well, you'll probably be able to disable the new stuff, and we'll let you know when there's strats that function. Where's that goblin army? Oh, they're heading in the right direction. It's a pretty great game. It's Magcola. And Jesse V has been typing in YouTube chat for a little bit, and I've been reading it, and it kind of sums up to a lot of people's solutions are DF hack, and they don't need to be. I mean, things like, how do you get rid of the Forgotten Beast that's currently on fire that's making your game run at 1 FPS? It's like, okay, yeah, no, I could get that. Like, that's a valid use for DF hack, but... Like, when people's solution for Cavern Invaders is just exterminate all every time, it's like, no, just disable them from the get-go. Like, there's a better way, guys. There's a better way. No, totally. Me too. Like, I think Tarn kind of has the right idea with difficulty, where it's about making the game surprising, not making the game mean. Well, now we can just go up and down here. What is the plan for this siege? Hope I have enough power to power these pump stacks. That's the plan for the siege. Cross my fingers. I'm just checking for leaks real quick. Okay. Now let's see if we actually have the power. Here we go. Chat, for those of you who are subscribed, could I get a bunch of lava in the chat? Well, it's powered, so that's good. But I'm not seeing any lava. Aha! Excellent. I should also probably seal this. Perfect. Is there like a red square or orange square emote or a volcano emote? Jesse V found a volcano emote. That works. In the YouTube chat. This coal is gonna burn forever. And by that I mean literally a year. Well, good news. All that's working. Here comes the baddies. Meanwhile, Onul has begun a mysterious construction. Oh, Hobo, if you're in the chat still. We've been to a certain festival several times. I was in a restaurant last weekend. No, not last weekend, the weekend before. And I was listening to the music in the background, and then I had to stop and ask the bartender what playlist they were playing, because they were literally playing the Spotify playlist from said festival. So I have Day to Remember stuck in my head. It's their fault. Onul the Papermaker has created Vutokunus, a forgotten beast bone bed. Whoa. And offers it to the head cave of Clobbering. That is a new one. I don't believe I've ever had a beast bone bed. Havoc, where's your... Havoc, where's your... quarters? This is a Forgotten Beastbone bed. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is studded with copper and iron and encircled with bands of fungi wood and round rock salt cabochons. This object is adorned with hanging rings of dolomite, and on the item is an image of a hyena man in Forgotten Beastbone. On the item is an image of 3 parched trees in rock salt. On the item is an image of a giant green tree frog man in, or a giant green tree frog in iron. Now, you guys want to know the one problem with this? The one issue that I have with this whole situation here, this whole construction that I built, I don't have a way to drain it. So I can dump the lava in here. That's fine. But once the lava down in here, I don't have a way of getting it out. That's a problem for future me. Current me doesn't care. But future me will care. Right now, I'm just waiting for... minecarts will burn, yes. So I should probably, ideally, hopefully, with a little bit of luck, break the siege before... sending the minecarts in. So now we wait. I'm just waiting for them to get a little closer. Tunnel has gotten a lot longer since the last time. We're also probably going to get hit by an ad break, so I will pause. I will pause the game when the ad break hits. Yeah, but I don't believe I've ever had a Forgotten Beast bone bed specifically. That's a new one for me, Jesse, in YouTube chat. But they can make non-wood artifact beds. You can't make non-wood beds without modding your game. So you can have like iron beds, platinum beds, you know, steel beds, stone beds, bone beds, etc. I'm thinking around the time they hit this boulder is when I will pull the lever. So I will let them keep walking and pause the game when they hit there. So who hasn't seen the minecarts fire yet? Because I haven't had a reason to fire them today. It's just been locking all the dwarves inside, fixing moods, and working on the fort itself today. Because you may want to look up if you're listening to the stream. You don't need to type in chat or anything, but you may want to look up. Ilmirin was found dead. What? What did you do, Corpseman? What did you do? Sorry, that's natural response. Yeah, you got beaten to death by a child. Ilmirin was found dead is how to make you look up. Got it. Well, you were killed by a child. All right, let's start up the railgun. Let's fire these suckers. Blah! Von Galactic, we're about to fire a railgun. How was stream? Mods, can I get a shout out for Von Galactic, please? This time it actually wasn't you, but you have credit for the kill. How'd you not do it if you have credit for the kill? Demonster's coming to pull the lever. If you're playing for the first time, I'd play vanilla because modded just makes the game more. It doesn't change how the game plays mechanically in super dramatic ways. So if you're brand new to the game, unless you want some aesthetic changes, I would just play vanilla. Because you can do some wacky things in vanilla like this. Excuse me. Coming through. Oh my. Jesus. Crikey. All right, time to fire round 2. It's like brutal when it hits. It's like, here they come. Incoming. Oh god, just watching them skid backwards. Oh, that's brutal. It's horrific. Let's see if I can find one that got hit. The beak dog's upper body skids along the ground. Because this is because like other creatures are hitting him. How about you? Pale, seriously injured. The gold minecart hits the beak dog in the upper leg, and the injured part is smashed into the body in an unrecognizable mass. An artery was opened. Beak dog was sick. Oh, you know, just making maniacal death traps as you do, Von Galactic. Just making maniacal death traps. RimWorld has its place. I find it kind of aggravating to play these days, but Beak Dog slams into an obstacle. Let's fire another round. Yeah, we're going to be swapping these minecarts out with platinum. This is going to be a double rapid fire shot. Triple even. Here comes the third shot. Bang! All right. Next shot. Oh my god, just the dwarf, just the goblin flying. Oi! What an insult to injury. Gets hit by a minecart, is critically injured, so easily broken, beyond fear, bang, gets hit by another one. Just slammed, dude. Ah, there goes another one. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Absolutely fucking fantastic. That's just gold minecarts stained red. I got 2 more shots. Shoutouts to Demonster here, who's doing the work of firing these off. Wait for one to fly by. And then we'll follow this last one. In slow-mo. Oh god, I hope they don't have more minecarts. So it hits the first one. They collide backwards. And so they hit each other, which do injure each other until eventually it runs out of momentum. But, like, that's all of the carnage that's been caused by this. And, like, these are just spattered with beak dog blood. And then when they get up to here, my Mark Dwarves are going to have a field day. And behind them are my military, who hopefully are ready for this. Also up here, I should just real quick pull all of these levers. You could automate these with pressure plates, but there's something satisfying about pulling the levers manually. And then they pop all these back up. Okay, so now we just need to wait for the goblins to get into range of the Mark Dwarves. And then any of the ones here that are just injured are usually going to be seriously injured because they got hit with a minecart. So that means that they are now significantly weaker. So the Mark Dwarves are going to start shooting. Unless they're this one who's going to go get a drink or something. See, they start firing. Now, Mark Dwarves are never going to be the best at killing. However, they are very good at, like, injuring and disarming. Soldiers are right there. And when the goblins get up to here, I will tell the soldiers to go attack. Actually, you know what I will do? When the goblins get up to here, I will tell them to close this. Actually, let's also pull this lever. To close this front drawbridge. And then we'll pull this lever to seal them in here. And then these ones are the ones we'll play with, and we'll just dump lava on the rest of them. While my Mark Dwarves are just, you know, training their target practice up. Although I'm going to be swapping them out for platinum because platinum is lava safe. I know there's lava above this system. Those gold ones are probably all going to get burned in a minute. No, it's literally hit period. There is a hotkey for it. It's rebindable. I think it's period by default. I have it as period. I may have rebound it. But no, it's that is a bound key. You can also speed up and slow down the frame rate with a hotkey. So now that that's set, I'm going to pull this. So they should pop out over here. Yeah, they drop down a level. The reason I've done that is so that if I want to, I can also load other things into the minecarts and use them as cannons. Demon Stir continuing to do the work. Send the Mark Dwarves back. And there we go. See ya, frames. Hardly knew ye. The game's thinking about it. Don't worry, it'll figure it out. This is like getting hot oil dumped. Oh. The brutality, man. The absolute brutality. Most of the minecarts are far enough away that, yeah, they'll probably still get destroyed. Kiddo, please pull it. Thank you. I don't want to fill the whole fort up with lava, you know, like right here. That'll be a problem. You're supposed to run away. Well, that's a little bit more effective than I needed it to be, but it's fine. That breaks the siege. There's just a wall of lava coming through here. Yeah, it's going to melt those. But these are all the dead from the minecarts, by the way. Like, that's a lot. Meanwhile, the soldiers up here are fighting through, so let's move them over to here. The dwarves are now getting their time in the sun. I mean, their time to shine. Cuddle here has taken some pretty hefty injuries, but is healing up quicker than many would expect. And ironically, the only dead during this siege is Ilmirin. And maybe Farmer Femme, who's currently bleeding and stunned, and I think just lost a limb. Ooh. Come on, you can fight through this, dwarves. You got this. You'll have a chance. I'm actually just going to pull you out of the squad real quick. Let's jump down to the bottom. Well, actually, no. We'll let you fight through to the end because you're no longer on the front line. Although you are still enthusiastically charging, so I can't be that bad. Well done, dwarves. Aside from the part where you're having trouble breathing, and your right foot is gone. I would say you've done quite well for yourself. Hey, dwarves. It's a little bit too much lava up in here. A little bit. Thankfully, I don't think there's any more coming through. Yeah, there goes the minecarts. It's okay, we can actually heal that because we have magic potions in the palace. No, because gremlins aren't capable of pulling levers when they're tamed. Unless they're not tamed. So I guess theoretically you could if they're not trained or tamed. There go the blood eruptions. Bodies exploding and the blood evaporating. Because if I actually pause during one of these... Goblin boiling blood. Yeah, no, it's cleaning itself now, which is the most important piece of the puzzle. Although we'll actually save some of them. Some of them, maybe? Actually, maybe not. I also now need a way to drain this. And I'm thinking it's a perfectly fine and dandy little cavern here. Be a shame if someone were to burninate it. Most dangerous? I don't know about most dangerous. Certainly spicy. Yeah, no, same. I honestly, it's, for me, it's not even I want more medicine. I just want to be able to just be a healer in adventure mode, because I think that would be a really fun playstyle. You know, just like running around and tending to the sick in random villages, like just being a legendary doctor. Like, oh, go help this person. Well, what do I need? I need 3 splints. Well, where are you going to get them? I don't know. Go talk to the crafter kind of deal. Just going around collecting healing materials and... Here, we'll take a look at that corpse, man. By the way, I don't know if you were lurking or not, but you killed him, Ilmirin. See if we can see any red blood shooting. Oh no, I lost at least a mace dwarf, so somebody probably died in the lava. There goes one. 2. 2 total. And you're tantruming again. Seems like probably Jody doing their job. Getting Aban over here tended to. Man, I need to unassign this from the hospital. This kind of doesn't make sense. Having dwarves in prison right next to dwarves being tended to in hospital, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's hard for... Okay, so it's easy for lava to have a kill ratio. It's hard for lava to have a death ratio. So I'm not sure that's a fair comparison, that. I still got a few more that need to burn, but, you know, it's getting there. It is getting there. I think probably what I'm going to do is just go right below it. Because what kind of floor is in this? Rock salt block floor. I think I'm just going to dig a trench all the way through the middle of this and just drop it down one. What'd you do? Probably tantrumed. I'm not sure what you did. You may have also, Oh, I violated a production order. So no, you didn't tantrum. What's your production order? Oh. Right. Buddy wants coins. Boss Dwarf wants coins. Lava death ratio would be friendly kills. But, oh yeah, okay, never mind. I guess, I see what you mean. But that would still count as kills. I guess what you're saying is friendly versus hostiles ratio. But yeah, sure. I mean, totally. No, and by that logic, it's definitely a good ratio. You managed for about 20 minutes before you gave up? Yeah, you like most people. Except most people then went on and claimed that, hey, I play Dwarf Fortress. I'm an expert. I will admit there is like a very dumb, elitist, selfish part of me that's kind of jealous that Dwarf Fortress lost a lot of nerd cred when it came out on Steam. Like, it's much less cool to be way into Dwarf Fortress in like nerd communities now that it's out. It's like nowhere near as mythical as it once was. My God, the Gremlin video almost has 60,000 views. That's bananas. That's bananas. Abso-fucking-lutely bananas. I have a feeling that that video will be at 100,000 views by like Sunday at the rate it's going. Wasn't really on your radar back then? I'll say that like OG Dwarf Fortress, if you're used to playing or watching modern Dwarf Fortress, runs like shit. Doesn't matter how good your computer is. That thing just runs badly on everything. It can be playable, but like... I guess playable is relative. Uh-oh. Ah, shit. Accidentally did this on the wrong layer. All right. Now that that's on the right layer, and also depending on the version that you install, Marco, depending on the version you install, some of them just straight up don't work at all. Your latest video got 20 views in a week. You got to remember, Bone Doll, that's where I started. Like, I started uploading videos to YouTube in 2014. So, and then privated the first 2 years because they were all garbage. And then, like, didn't upload for a couple years. And then started uploading again in 2016 and then stopped again. And started uploading again in 2019. Or 18, really? Yeah, it was more like late 17, 18. And then there was a post I posted on this website that used to exist, which people used to like, called Twitter, where I said I'm going to take YouTube seriously now. And I was serious, and I've been taking YouTube seriously since then. And as I've done that, it's slowly increased. But it really took a long fucking time to be anything meaningful. So, like, all those stats are public. You can go look at the curve of my YouTube career slowly gaining traction, and it took forever. Forever. Absolutely forever. You know, I remember talking to a developer about undo buttons and them saying that in order to have an undo button, you would need to build the entire game with that in mind. I wonder how possible that even would be. I mean, I'd be super happy if there was an undo button. Like, that would be wonderful. Specifically, this was like in the context of the Frontier game Planet Coaster. It's a game about making beer coasters. Oh, shit. The elves have noticed us. Is that not connected to anything? Shit, it's not. I'm kind of shocked. No, don't pull that on repeat. Just pull it. Yeah, I just need a way of making this drain faster. But aside from this likely taking a year to drain, at the very least, you know, this is clean now. Oh shit, more tetrahedrite. And more tetrahedrite. Instinctively hammered Control Z. For a second there you were confused why it wasn't working. Yeah. The closest thing the Dwarf Fortress kinda has to that is macros, but that requires keyboard mode, and it's not entirely implemented because keyboard mode isn't entirely implemented in the current version. So it kind of is a bit of a moot point. Stick the orders in a list. You know, that's like me saying you don't need to fix the planet. You just need to convince everybody at the same time to do the right thing. I don't know how easy that actually is to implement, so I'm glad that you have the confidence to state that something would be easy to implement. I don't know if that's true. And I used to talk like that, especially when it comes to video games that I don't make. And I've learned over the years that it's generally best to not presume something's easy to implement unless you know how it's built. And I have no idea how this game is built, really. But, like you, I would also love to see it. That would be very nice. Indoor fortress. You know, it's funny. I know that you're using voice to text, Corpseman, because I use voice to text sometimes, and indoor or door is the most common, like, phone response for Dwarf Fortress in my experience. It's like, oh, you meant door. No, I said dwarf. God damn it. You're driving and have dip. Good stuff. In regards to the dip, careful with the driving. Just careful. Drive safely. You know what's cute, YouTube friend? Is that you've been here all day. So you telling me that I would retain my viewership if I was a different person is ironic to me because I'm retaining you. So your attempts to make me feel bad are oddly ironic. I retain plenty of viewership. You're never going to retain everybody because a lot of people, you know, go play other games. Get retained, idiot. Consider yourself on retainer. In fact, if you look at stats statistically over the last 3 years, my stream has only grown. Like, yeah, there's been hills and valleys, but such is the way. Especially in the summer, because most of my audience, except for yourself, are adults. And a lot of them have families and kids. And kids are busy in the summer. Then things get kind of quiet. C'est la vie. But, you know. Haters are still watching me. I mean, that's like how you make money in drama, is you get a collection of people that fucking hate you, and then they tune in every week to tell you why you're dumb. And it's like, excellent! Thanks for the ad revenue, motherfuckers! Just saying. Also, I'm sad that I remind you of that person in specific, but hey. Life goes on. See, Will in YouTube chat gets it. Also, for reference, what Tristan in YouTube chat said was, you'd retain more viewership if you weren't so polemic. Which is like, okay, so I empathize with people in real world events, and I am a socialist. I am a Canadian. I represent 15, or more than, like, I don't want to say more than 50%. Probably close to 50% of my local population. So, I mean, you need to step outside of your refrigerator-shaped echo chamber at some point, my friend. But I digress. Remind me of Gandalf in the books where he's just smart and sarcastic and subtly reviewing everything. Yeah. Just like guiding everybody in generally the right direction and rolling the eyes when they don't. I don't quite have the wizard hat nor the beard to be a Gandalf, but I'll take the compliment. I'll tell you this. I have like no interest in growing a beard. I could acquire a wizard hat. That's perfectly in the cards. I'm just gonna change my make rock blocks job real quick. At the end of the day, basically everybody in this industry has personal opinions and views. Most people share them. Some people like to just sit there and point them out and exclaim, "This is the reason for your failings!" Little do they realize that I bought an apartment this year. So the last thing I'm doing currently is failing. If anything. Bought. Yes. I'm a couple $100,000 in debt, but you know, it is what it is. Hello, rat. Yeah, no, the rat died, unfortunately. It's not the most successful iteration of the rat empire. You know, it's like the first time in like recent Canadian history that Canadians have actively agreed with somebody with the last name Ford. It's like, fuck that guy, get him! But also, fuck you, man! It's like Canada's biggest douchebag finally directed his anger at somebody that everybody else just goes, ha, you get to deal with him for a bit. Some migrants have arrived, apparently. Hallelujah. The goal from the entire stream today has been achieved. We have now acquired more Dwarf. I'm just looking to see if any dwarves from other previous forts show up. That's mostly all I'm looking for. Should also be looking for dwarves with decent militia. possibilities. Like this dwarf. Oh, you came from my last fort. Wait. Hang on. You were here in 379. Were you one of the traders? Huh. Well, that's neat. No, you are one of the traders. Because I remember your last name. Huh. This was the dwarf that tried to kill my, my rock. Or the rock tried to kill him, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's why she's got all these fighting skills. Dreams of making a great discovery, hey? Really? Well, I'll let you be in my library and I will force you to be friends with my rock. Because that's cool. You're just a competent marks dwarf. What am I doing here? Choose a mastering skill. She likes to brawl. Yeah, you'll be okay. Bookie McBinder. Great discovery usually means they want to be a scholar of sorts. This is a fisher dwarf with a lot of combat skills. Bad with words, high willpower, hateful, and fact-oriented. How you doing, Ratmost? Both the rats are here. This is quite the migrant wave. Nice social awareness and not creative. Good luck, dwarf. You seem like a competent doc. Personally finds the idea of family loathsome. It's just like when the potatoes take over, Ilmirin. You dream of mastering a skill. Poor memory, good. Poor focus, good. Resilient, great. Thank you. You're explaining this better than I ever could, Salty. The one thing I'll interject with is I personally feel that it's better to not have a feature than have a poorly implemented version of a feature in a video game. Because then it just makes people go, well, why isn't this feature better? That's my only 2 cents into the conversation. Because it's all mostly over my head. I try and avoid dwarves that are super creative or have really high empathy, but also if a dwarf is fearful in the face of imminent danger, but that can be okay as long as they can handle stress. It's basically, I look for dwarves that dream of mastering a skill and have some sort of bravery stat, or trait rather is maybe the better word to use. How much platinum do I have? One, two, three. I guess I can make platinum minecart. I'll make 6. 7? Should have enough for 7. Glad you liked the gremlin video, Everton. But yeah, it's mostly, I mostly just look for dwarves that enjoy the process of training, primarily, which is like your dreams of mastering a skill or like respects martial prowess or is just looking for martial training from the get-go. Those are kind of my needs, but outside of that, it's just, it's pretty flexible what you can kind of get away with. Because obviously, you know, you don't want a dwarf who's just going to be upset from the get-go with the process of learning whatever you're teaching them, right? And that's generally the issue there. You cut a stream. Hello! How are you, Taylor? It's good to see you. I hope that your day has been good. Makes total sense. You're in the process of making a cavern zoo with exhibits and baiting these forgotten beasties is a long task. Yeah, I need to do that again. I did that in a fortress called Creature Creepers? What? Creature Keepers a while ago. And that was a very memorable fort, mostly because of the layout of it. The layout of it was completely fucking bonkers. But because it was one of the steepest mountains I've ever seen. It was just basically just like giant mountain in the shape of an ass and then just a giant pointy tower made of rock. I'm not joking. It looked like a giant butt or pair of tits, depending on how much you zoomed out. So we had a great time laughing about that. But aside from laughing about it, we ended up catching a lot of forgotten beasts in that fort and then eventually digging into hell and then releasing the forgotten beasts one by one down into hell. It was fun. I defended that fort with minecarts full of coins. I shot my wealth at the enemy. It was a good time. Well, this is all melting off slowly. I tried to pay them off. I mean, clearly it didn't. Yeah, we had. Did anybody clip the railgun launches? I don't know if they got clipped, but yes, we have in fact had railgun launches today. So does the cart material matter? The weight of the cart matters. I can get it accelerating regardless, but you want a heavy minecart because it's just a blunt object, right? It's basically like you're firing a brick wall at something, right? And if you want the brick wall to do maximum damage, you want it to be a heavy brick wall, right? So the heavier the minecart, the better. So in this instance, the minecarts that I'm firing are currently just made of like gold, but they're all gone now because I kind of melted them. So now that they're melted, I need ones that are also heavy, but also lava safe. So we're going to be, excuse me, doing our damnedest to get different materials down up in here. Down up in here? Down in here. I'm also going to do a thing real quick. I'm going to go over to this. And as you can see, there's a bunch of boulders right there. Let's embiggen the size of this stockpile. And remove this wheelbarrow. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to have a whole bunch of haul jobs. And they're just going to fill up this stockpile and put all of those boulders right there. Fuck. Or this Forgotten Beast is going to kill us all. One of the two. The Forgotten Beast, Salasto Usmdas, has come. A gigantic quadruped composed of ice. Ew. It has a long curving horn and a bloated body. Beware, it's poison gas. Ice isn't very strong. That's pretty weak, but... I haven't seen one in forever. Also, holy shit. I need to make tunnel tube trading depots more often. Look at that color. That is gorgeous. It's like bright purple. Fluorescent. Throw it in the lava. I can't make it path through it. They probably actually can't go this far. Where am I? Okay, so they're probably trying to go to like right here. Oh shit. I've got a random ghost. Maybe not a random ghost, but Dark Sands ghost is up. Antediluvian Miscreant. I haven't tried to say your name out loud yet, so that's a first for me. Hopefully it was a solid first attempt. Thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription. Appreciate you, mate. Thanks for helping keep the channel funded. Ah. Well, cheers, man. I don't know how poorly, how much I butchered your name, but I presume I butchered it. And... Oh. That went down really quick. About as quickly as I expected. Actually, a little slower than I expected. Swordsworth slashes the Forgotten Beast in the neck with a steel short sword, and the severed part sails off in an arc, so they cut its neck off and then it melted. This is its water laced with goblin blood, laced with goblin blood, laced with water, and water. Looks like Stormwolf got it, even though he is missing a hand. And it looks like his friend is currently a ghost. So, remember I turned the lava on and somebody died? I have a suspicion as to why. Yes, I think this dwarf walled themselves in and got blasted. Good God, I'm so sorry. Hold on, what was your... What was your last name? A. Avos. Yeah, there you are. Well, thank Armox Vile Pits. Armpits? Which pits? Okay, so the next thing I need to do is go over here and just plunk down some more dolomite. I'll go over here and Trinkamagoo you. I'm also going to type in wooden minecart, and I need 2 of them. Let's make them out of bloodthorn. Pits of despair. Got it. And you right here. I'm going to get a second wood stockpile right there. And go down to the bottom of this and type in wood. Look her right down there. Also going to go up to the top of this. Okay, well, you've got a minecart. Platinum. 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 And then that one right there. Do I have an open minecart that I can use? I do, in fact, have a fungi wood minecart. And then whenever this sucker gets built, all these dwarves are currently hauling boulders. There's so many. Although actually just going to enable this. Put them all in Fortress right now. We'll just haul all the boulders from in Fortress. All sorts of things naturally, including terrible jokes. In fact, I'd say mostly. That noise was the sound of the turning pump stack on? Wait, what? What was the sound of the turning the pump stack award? Or the turning the pump stack on? Excuse me? I don't know what sound I made, but... Oh, the sound of a dwarf dying. I get it. Okay, right. I mean, it kind of was. Indirectly. So now I have lava, like, right here. I also have lava right here. I think I'm going to build an additional pump right here. Pump lava up to here eventually. Or even just like under here. Doesn't matter. Because that would also be pretty easy to do. It's only a couple additional levels. And we could upgrade this to magma forges. But that's probably a project for a different stream, I think. I'm trying to think, what else should I get done today? Probably just finish cleaning up and building the drainage for this. Because that's like, honestly, the thing I need to get done. Not quite more than anything, but certainly higher up on the priority queue. So chat room, this is my last stream of this week. We'll be back on Tuesday. However, good news is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next week, I got nothing. Saturday, I have to go pay my taxes. But the rest of the week, nothing. Just week's open. So we'll be doing 4 streams next week. Pretty good considering I was super sick like 3 days ago. It's a lot of goats. I got a lot of goats, a lot of llamas, a lot of sheep. A lot of goats, a lot of llamas, a lot of sheep. Most of the clothing we're using is actually yarn, which is pretty rare for me. Like a lot of llama wool. Apparently troll fur. Ethel the miner. But yeah, I mean, we're not ending just yet. Maybe in a soonish here. Yeah, next week we'll be back to kind of the more normal schedule. And unless a brick falls on my head when I walk outside tomorrow, I will hopefully have a blog post up for you guys on the public blog feed this next week. Through a pipe would sound like screaming while it works the art of the pipe. Oh yeah, true. There'd probably a lot of whistling, right? Like, don't steam pipes do that? Although that might just be steam escaping from shitty valves in movies that I'm thinking of, but... Like, don't steam pipes squeal? Yeah, no, it's always lovely to have you around, Arthur. So supposedly there should be a minecart there. Whenever it does finally get moved. If it's escaping from a small space, yeah, it makes sense. Tapioca, what up, dude? But yeah, I guess the question is, chat, what are you up to this weekend? What are your plans? I have to entertain my parents and show them my new apartment, so I'm excited about that, but also... I'm not going to say I'm stressing about it, but I'm not going to not say that I'm stressing about it, you know what I mean? It's something that I'm excited for, but also, like, cautiously terrified. Applying for jobs everywhere. That's respectable. Best of luck, dude. Reenactment? What you reenacting, if I can ask? It's your birthday? Hell yeah! Just make sure that you're facing the right direction when you're throwing the axes, yeah? The combination of drinking and throwing axes, I'll be honest, kind of terrifies me. I know that there's, like, kind of a lot of alcohol and axe throwing places here as well. Like, it's a pretty popular, I don't know, grown-up activity, I guess. But, like, I don't know. There's something about it that freaks me out a little bit. I'm not quite sure why. Corpse Man is tantruming once again. It is a very dwarfy activity. I won't deny that. I guess, like, my brain tells me that that can't end any other way other than, like, somebody getting hit in the head with an axe. I think that's largely what it has, what's up with it. So, it's like, my head's just telling me, like, there's no way this could possibly end well. Another dead doctor? No, nobody died this time. Just somebody got punched. Fighting happened, no permanent injury. Thankfully. For your bachelor party? I mean, yeah. That seems like, honestly, like a good bachelor party activity that wouldn't end with it just being super... I have this weird, like, I've obviously never done anything of the sort, but like, I feel like a lot of common bachelor party activities would just end with everybody being kind of broke and pissed off. But I'm not gonna try and judge. You're a little You're a legendary little shit, let me tell you. If you make it to adulthood, you will be the strongest dwarf in the fortress by that point. Oh yeah, actually that would be fun. Paintball. I haven't gone paintballing in a very long time. Like, holy shit, it's been a long time. Also, I've got a furnace operator who's tantruming too, so it's not just you now, it looks like. Annie Dwarf, happiest unnamed dwarf at B. Toulon, the kiddo, whose mother is Zalvi and she's dead, and your father is Lennox and he's also dead. So, welcome to the fort, Tapioca. It's been a while since you've had a dwarf. He's frequently depressed. So you're coping. I get it. Is inattentive to detail in his own work and can be very happy and optimistic. He likes to present himself boldly, even if it would offend the average sense of modesty. And he is quick to anger and generally acts impartially. He's rarely moved to mercy, and he has a tendency towards forming deep and emotional bonds with others. Sorry, I need to pause the game. Can't read while the background's moving. Where the hell was I? He is often nervous, and he tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects. And he has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others. He is pleased by his own appearance and talents, and he tends to think before acting. He is assertive, and he has a greedy streak, and he thinks that he's fairly important in the grand scheme of things. He runs his fingers through his hair when he's nervous, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day. He likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather, and he doesn't really care about anything much anymore. Personally thinks that the entire concept of sacrifice for others is truly disgusting. Ugh. And truly values merrymaking and parties and dreams of creating a great work of art. Excuse me. Sorry. That was very rude of me. And is a member of the religion of death, the Order of Dust. Your youngest sibling is also dead. And tragic though your life may be, you've made it to 7 years old and you're ecstatic with your life. You gained a sibling and it made you more cheerful and you learned to value merriment. You wore old clothing and you felt free and learned to hate decorum. You were sad dwelling upon seeing a goblin's dead body and became more depressed. You were frightened after being haunted by the dead, and you dwelled upon wearing old clothing, but you learned to value decorum again. And you're mostly just content after that. Huh. What a shockingly happy kid. You're running around with a jet mug. Well, there you go. Get yourself a nice drink. Seems like a good dwarf indeed. I might go play some pinball tonight. Might do that. Barrels show their contents, and so do bins. It was a couple patches ago. It was like either the patch that Adventure Mode came out. For me, it's been in longer because it was released into the beta first, but yeah, alongside of baby sprites and child dwarf sprites and all that. I think it was released into the main branch when the Adventure Mode released. But yeah, I think it looks great. Like it's one of the nicer little aesthetic tweaks they've made. It is really nice seeing a lot of those changes slowly come into place. Oh, shit. We've got an artifact happening down here. So you got the rough gems. Okay, what else do you need? Stack leather. Okay, you got that. Forest, you got that. Skeletons, you got that. Do you need more skeletons? Quarry, okay. Yeah, you need more skeletons. You acquire additional skeletons. I'm sorry, what? They're just stressed because they've been here for so long. They're getting rusty at their combat because they've been here for so long. Hold on, what? So, Mamba number 5, my trained snake here, killed a goblin? When did you do that? I mean, obviously 2 years ago, but how? You live here. How did you do that? You crazy fucking snake. Chat, my black mamba killed a goblin somehow. Good on you, Danger Noodle. Anyway, what was I doing? You right here, let's go cage. Let's kill both these. And also maybe like... Sure. It's possible. I don't know. Thieves have gotten inside a couple of times. So, that's not actually the most specific. Oh, absolutely it counts, yes. Black Mambas 100% are poisonous. Brutally toxic venom. Not the sort of thing you want to mess around with. Venom of dealing with your XGF. Really? It just paralyzes you and then kills you after the fact? That seems intense. It sounds like I would try to avoid that if at all possible, man. I wish I had, like, another one so that I could have more than just one. Shenanigans. You heard that they're the second most poisonous in the world. I don't really want to test it, so I'll just take your word for it. I will say, vipers are the coolest looking poisonous snake. In my humble opinion. This is going to look real cool when it's done, I swear. You're just going to have to work with the process here. Your company is going to give you an aneurysm. You know, I feel like about the same whenever I hear like Amazon doing something really stupid or Google announcing some dumb feature. It's like Speaking of dumb features, did you guys hear that Apple delayed all of their AI stuff by like several years? Which is really funny because, like, I wonder if Apple announcing a bunch of AI features for their phone and thus boosting their stock prices a little bit, and then unannouncing AI features because, like, you know, nobody actually wants them, and saying, actually, we're delaying them, is like a pretty effective strategy to like dodge a bursting bubble in an industry like that. Like, that's my theory of like what Apple's trying to do now is just like, yo, we're doing AI stuff. Actually, it's not very good. We're going to wait. You know, why don't we just not do that? I mean, it's just a really shitty upgrade for Siri, which is already kind of a shitty product, so. Ender Bunny is making masterpiece clothings. And Dwarf has begun a mysterious construction. What? I really sort of screwed this up here. It doesn't even exist yet and people have had enough already. I mean, you know, I saw Terminator. I know how this ends. I think people have seen enough, like, fiction based on that stuff that it's pretty easy to understand why people have had enough. Athel has created Rumksvat Koltonim Shale Floodgate. and offers it to the head cave of Clubbering. I'm gonna plunk that down in my tavern. And I'll worry about that one later. And lack of fucking communication about changes in gaslighting the fuck out of all the people who want to help them out. Yeah. Snatcher, protect the childs. Uh-oh. Shit! They got tapioca! Get him, dwarves! Get him, Rigoth! Beat him with your wax stick! There you go, we saved tapioca. Success. Why? Okay, number one, when did Croc die? Number two, why is there a molding dwarf in my in my front foyer? And why? Oh, it's not in the burrow. That makes sense. Should get that buried. Get that dwarf dealt with, Dwarf. Dwarfs. Yeah, it really is. I'm just a wee bit flabbergasted at it. But because I don't recall seeing that dwarf die in the first place, but I guess you did. Well, could currently looks like it could look better, but hey, it's something. That looks fine. I'm just gonna say sand. Green, glass, block. I'll just say 50 and 50. And repeat monthly. Start making green glass blocks. Get some glass up in here. Let's also do this and that. What the f... Well, that's annoying. Somebody tantrumed and broke a lever. God dang it. I need to get back DF into your calendar. I need to get back and need to get back DF and do my calendar research. What? Are these two things connected? I'm not convinced that's going the right direction. Ah, okay. I was gonna say that made no sense. You wanted to do a calendar that would measure time in-game. Oh, geez. I mean, back in the day, I would say that would be a really good way to get a Kotaku article about you, but now these days, that might be a pretty good way to get an Aftermath article written about you. Starting to think there might just be too many jobs for the dwarves again. Snatchers scare the shit out of you. Certainly one of them. It's certainly an interesting mechanic in the Dwarf Fortress sphere when it comes to the things that creatures in Dwarf Fortress do to you. Forgotten Beast Zimum has come. A huge blob that's composed of fire. It has wings and a gaunt appearance. Chat room, this is a problem for future me. Current me says I've been streaming for 9.5 hours. I'm gonna call it. I did a prison fort once, YouTube chat, where it was kind of a guest-focused fort, and I just interrogated and arrested people for crimes that weren't committed in my fortress, because like it's kind of hard to get. You need criminals to have a prison fort. YouTube folks, we'll be live on Tuesday next week. Same with you guys, Twitch chat folks. Don't run off though if you're in Twitch, because we're gonna go raid somebody, probably somebody playing Dwarf Fort. If there's people playing Dwarf Fort, I need to look who's playing Dwarf Fort. YouTube folks, if you guys want to come raid somebody with us, pop over here onto Twitch and we can go raid someone. Otherwise, if you haven't yet, please go leave a comment on the Gremlin video. And if you have left a comment on the Gremlin video, go respond to somebody's comment on the Gremlin video and help that YouTube algorithm machine continue to level as it does. For those of you that are just chilling here, we are going to go raid someone, so stick around. And hopefully by next week, we'll be back on the 4 days streams per weeks. So a lot of myths about child snatching monsters. However, they can only in-game snatchers as child catcher from chat. Yeah. No, I mean, what child snatchers actually do is they take them to goblin places and then they indoctrinate them into their faction, which is fun. All right. I'm shutting down the game now and the YouTube stream. So we'll see you later, YouTubes. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching, regardless of my polarizing nature. And we'll see you when we see you. Take care, guys. Alrighty, Twitch folks. And seriously, though, jokes aside, thanks for sticking with me through my good days and bad days. Nobody's perfect, least of all me. And, thanks for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I have the coolest job in the world, and I wouldn't get this job if you guys didn't tune in and say hi. So, let's go see who we're going to go yell at, shall we?